it's the morning. Doesn't it already feel like the afternoon? It's like 95 degrees outside. Anyway, good morning to you. It is Friday, July the 1st. We have made it to a new month. That's right, and we have a holiday weekend right here. We're going to be talking all about the very latest in your local forecast for today because, like yesterday, we are going to be tracking showers and thunder showers, and we're also previewing that entire 4th of July weekend forecast, and we are also tracking the tropics. It is going to be a busy coffee talk because we have a lot to talk about in the world of weather. But before we do, let's just take a moment of zen, right? This is a shot looking in Brevard County over from Cocoa to Merritt Island. Port Canaveral's off there in the distance. We're going to go again for a rocket launch. Yesterday, weather did not cooperate. The launch weather officer did a fantastic job. Tori Bruno even shouting out SLD 45 launch weather officer for doing such a great job. Mother Nature didn't cooperate with yesterday's Atlas launch. Hopefully we'll be able to get one taken care of today. Tracking hypersonic weaponry. Whoa, that's big. All right, temperatures out the door into the mid and upper range of the 70s. It is muggy as can be. Our first warning, live Doppler radar, not tracking anything over top of us, but look off of our east coast. There is plenty of shower and thunder shower activity out there. Staying put for now, but certainly we are seeing the colors on the horizon as we get our day started, especially if you live over in Brevard County. So where do we go from here? Well, let's talk about it, shall we? This morning we're looking good, but through the day, look at that, 30, 40, 50% coverage of showers and thunder showers, eventually settling into a widespread 60% coverage of rain this afternoon, even into this evening. There's going to be a lot of rain once again in the forecast. Kelly, Juan, Tina, Jessica, good morning, everybody. Frankie, how are ya? Kristen, good morning. Pat? If I don't say good morning to you, I apologize. These comments are flying by quicker than our launch opportunities did yesterday. Vivian, Connie, good morning, good morning. Jessica, Tina, Cheryl, Ann, good morning. Hope you're doing well. Let's see here. We need rain in Ocala. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of interesting when you look at the statistics, and we'll just use this as kind of an example for all of Central Florida, but just look at Orlando's rain for the month of June. This year, we got 4.5 inches of rain. Last year, for June, we got 7 inches of rain. So we're about, say, 3.5 inches behind for the month of June. Now, of course, we're resetting things for July, but let's talk a little bit about the month of July before we get more in depth into today's forecast, okay? The month of July oftentimes gives us plenty of showers and thunder showers. This is also where we get to the hottest temperatures of the year. Our average high by the beginning of the month, we're sitting at 91 still. But the average high temperature by the end of the month hits 92. And for Central Florida, that is the hottest average high temperature that we get, okay? So, yeah, the heat is on, just like that cheesy song goes, right? We've gotten into the triple digits this month, average about 7 inches of rain, give or take. And yeah, it's the peak of those afternoon showers and thunder showers. In terms of the tropics, we start to open our visuals from just like the Gulf and the Caribbean. We start to get out to the Atlantic, and then as things get into the Caribbean, they have opportunities for development. Of course, we'll be talking more about the tropics here coming up in just a couple of moments' time. But before we do that, let's just get a little more in depth into today's forecast, right? High temperatures today look like this. We're into the 80s along the beaches, 90s across the interior. Not terribly hot because we've got a higher coverage of showers and thunder showers. So let's track things on Futurecast. This morning, you could see the rains off of our east coast. Yep, there it is. Then watch how through time, 2, 3, 4 o'clock, we start to bubble up those widespread showers and thunder showers. And notice that continues through sunset tonight, and it wants to come over toward the east coast, right? That is a bit of a change. So if you live along the east coast, be ready. Dinner time showers, maybe even some thunder showers heading your direction. What about your Saturday? Here's 9 o'clock tomorrow when I see on West 2 News Sun. Well, this will be after Coffee Talk, but when I see it tomorrow morning for Coffee Talk, we'll be okay. But notice lunchtime, 2, 3 o'clock, we'll be getting into showers and thunder showers, right? Look at the widespread rains. Again, wanting to focus out on our east coast. So rain chances these next couple of days are going to be a bit elevated. If you've got outdoor plans this entire weekend, I would just say know that there's going to be rain. Today, we're going with about a 60% coverage of rain. Frankly, these next couple of days are kind of in that same window. We've got a lot of moisture in play, so we're talking about that 60% coverage of rain as well for your Saturday and your Sunday and your Monday. Now, for Monday, and this is important, right? For Monday, we're talking about those rain chances adjusting back off toward the west. Well, let's just take a look. Before we even get too deep into that, let's just take a look at the Futurecast kind of model data for each day. And we're going to run our longer range Futurecast. All right, so here we are. There's Friday afternoon. You can kind of see the showers and storms widespread, right? Let's get into Saturday. You can see the rains out east to get you out the door, right? And then kind of gradually fading afterward. Let's look at Sunday, okay? Morning is good, a few popcorn showers. It looks like Sunday's wanting to focus back on the West Coast by the afternoon, which is good for us for fireworks. 4th of July, here we go. Starting north and east, right? There's lunchtime. You can see the darker greens out along I-95 and points to the north. And then by about 2, 3, 4 o'clock, notice 6 o'clock, everything's wanting to focus out west. By 9 o'clock for fireworks displays, a few lingering showers, but things should start to trend better and better and better. So while we've got kind of a really widespread setup today and for tomorrow, looking ahead to the 4th of July and for fireworks, and this is important, right? For fireworks, we're looking better and better and better, right? So that's important. Showers and storms, yes, but clearing out right in time for fireworks. I think that's about as best a scenario as we could ask for, right? I think. Good morning to you, Mary Joanne. Hope you're having a great start to your day. Kimberly, good morning. So partly cloudy, and he says, well, for fireworks, yeah, I think partly cloudy skies. We will have storms prior to the actual light displays, though. On Monday, can we have the rains in Sanford? I'm hoping we have the rains everywhere. Down in Africa. Barbara says, the bubble broke. We had rain yesterday. I love it. Yeah, how much? We got a ton at my house. How much did we get at my house? Let's see. While that's loading. Thunder and lightning in Oviedo yesterday, but did you get any rain, Janice? I got 0.92 inches of rain, so almost an inch of rain yesterday. Nothing wrong with that. Just means I don't have to fill up the pool, right? Joanne says fireworks in Palm Bay are Saturday night. Okay, well, there you go, yeah. So this is not for Saturday night, but as we looked on Futurecast a moment ago, the weekend as a whole is looking fairly stormy during the day, but things gradually clear out through the evening. That includes Independence Day as well. But your weekend does include, yeah, that 60% coverage of showers and thunder showers. Daytona was dry, Taylor says. Well, hopefully we'll give you another opportunity today. What time is the launch window today? I believe it is still 6 p.m. And the problem here, again, is that we're looking at rough weather. 60% chance of good launch weather. I was talking to someone yesterday, and the discussion was, what happened, right? Like, there was a lot of lightning toward the end of the window, but what was going on prior to that? There were thunderstorms in the vicinity, and you see where it says weather concerns? We kind of try to generalize this for you, but Space Launch Delta 25, good gravy, Space Launch Delta 45 has actual rules that they follow, and they've put together the weather criteria, okay? The weather criteria for launches and things like that. So anything that they do, and I'm sure that there's other things. So for today, just to illustrate, today's weather criteria, cumulus cloud rule, anvil cloud rule, and lightning rule, okay? Now, we know clouds and lightning, so we try to generalize it just a little bit. But what is the cumulus cloud rule? What is the anvil cloud rule? All of that sort of thing. There's believe it or not, there's different rules that play into this, okay? So, for example, a cumulus cloud rule, you could develop added moisture if a cloud flies through the moisture, and then in that moisture, you could be talking about icing, and icing on rockets adds drag. That's not a good thing. Anvil cloud rule. Anvil cloud rule, you have to think of it as anvil is a thunderstorm that's growing. It hits the cap and it starts growing outward. And when that starts to happen, you start to concern yourself with static electricity. Even if the thunderstorm is way far away, if that anvil top is building over toward you, then you develop static electricity. Static electricity obviously can be bad. It can trigger lightning. So there's specific criteria. So on our graphic, we'll always kind of more generalize it because know thy audience, right? Clouds, lightning, you get the gist. But for them today, it is the cumulus cloud rule, technically. It is the anvil cloud rule, technically, and the lightning cloud rule, technically, that we're concerned with. Just like yesterday, once again today, that will be the case. All right. Taylor says, looks like we'll definitely get it tonight. Need to motivate myself to go to the grocery store. Now, that said, talking about the launch forecast, if today does not look good, if today they do not launch, okay, there is a 24-hour delay. And while today's probability, actually that probability has gone down. It's not 60%, it's 40%. Stand by. They must have just put out an update. My apologies. So there's a 40% chance of, I was like looking at the numbers. I'm like, wait a minute, this doesn't line up. So there's a 40% chance of acceptable, right? There's a 40% chance of acceptable weather today. Tomorrow there would be a 50% chance of acceptable weather, okay? So that's what we're looking at. All right. All right, to the tropics we go. Wide perspective, and there are two features that we are monitoring. The first one, very near Panama, that is potential tropical cyclone number 2. Hurricane hunters have been inside investigating. The latest update from the National Hurricane Center is that it is still a potential tropical cyclone. You can see, though, it is bubbling up convection. We have said on Coffee Talk for, I feel like, a week, it wasn't going to want to develop as it was scraping along the northern shoreline of South America. It didn't have enough Coriolis. It doesn't have enough warm water. But as soon as it pulled away and got into the Caribbean, it would finally be able to tap into that deep tropical moisture. You're seeing that convection. And the Hurricane Center, to quote them, of course, to quote them, and I have to go back and find said quote. To quote the National Hurricane Center, disturbance almost a tropical storm. Okay, that's their quote. So I have a feeling that at any point today, PTC2, Potential Tropical Cyclone 2, will become Tropical Storm Bonnie. There's the forecast cone from the National Hurricane Center. So there's the forecast cone from the National Hurricane Center. Expected to become a tropical storm, and I do agree with that. Then cross over Central America, and then move out into the Pacific waters, potentially becoming a hurricane. Now, as long as it is named in the Atlantic, doesn't weaken, and stays a tropical storm as it crosses, this would be Bonnie in the Pacific as well, which would be the second B-named storm in that basin. If it doesn't form until the Pacific, then it would take a Pacific storm name. This doesn't happen all the time, but it's always interesting stuff when it does. All right, so that's what we're looking at. Elsewhere in the tropics, our little system in the Gulf has not done anything. And the little thing back behind Bonnie, there's obvious a bubble up of moisture back there, working toward the Caribbean islands. However, the development opportunity on this is low, 10%. It's disorganized, but it is definitely a feature that catches your eye on the satellite imagery. If we look to the computer forecast models, this is the latest run of the GFS. Let me switch it to basin. That way we've got a nice wide shot. And because we're so far south, let me just do that. You won't be able to see the timestamp, but I'll read it to you. Don't you worry. All right. So there is Bonnie, potentially, or just PTC2 moving into Central America. There in the Caribbean, you can kind of see in the Eastern Caribbean, the brighter green shades there. That is that next thing. Probably could become Invest 96. but the models are not gung-ho about that developing at all. This is July the 5th, so this is Tuesday, July the 5th. Not much doing, not much doing. Now there's July the 6th. Not much doing, not much doing. That's July the 10th, not much doing. Yep, still good and quiet. I like that. I like that. Through 384, still nice and quiet. Switch over and take a look at the European. All right, here's the European model. There's obviously those two features on the bottom where you see the word coffee. That's what would be Bonnie. Talk, that's the tropical wave in the open Atlantic. Nope, nothing, whole lot of nothing. Let's go further on the European. Yeah, I see a whole lot of nothing. Now that is July the 10th. You see a nice storm system firing up off the coast of the Northeast. Let's go back here. Yeah, like right there. That's July the 9th. The European is a little more bonkers on a storm system developing off the Northeast coast around July the 9th. But I will bring you back to our long-range forecast calendar for the month of July. And I've got 6th and 7th watching the Northeast. If it's the 8th, 9th, 10th, I'm off a couple of days. That's fine. So that does show up. And then around the 20th, 21st, that's going to be the Florester. So that's going to be something we'll have to watch around Florida come second to last week in July. So, yeah, all said and done, I think we're actually looking nice and quiet for a little while. So let's not wake the tropics. Let's just let it be. Just let it be. Oh, geez, Taylor. Oh, geez. Aaron says we got spoiled with all the weak-named storms over the years. Could this be the season with less storms but maybe stronger ones that form? Years like 2011 and 2021 had a lot, but most were weak. We'll have to see. Yeah, I mean, I am 100% on board with weaker storms. I'm 100% on board, though, with fewer storms. In general, if we can just keep things quieter, I'm okay with it. You know, in addition to potential tropical system 2, we've got this one wave, and that's it. Let's let it be that way. Let's keep everything nice and quiet. Let us focus on things that are important, like what beach are we going to, right? Yeah, seas and surf running about 2 to 3, moderate risk of rip currents. Temperatures hanging out in the, say, 70s this morning, but 80s through the afternoon on the beach sand. It's going to be gorgeous. That's where I'd like to go. Becca, good morning. I'm going to try the Warby Parker. Yeah, you can see today's Friday, so I swapped my lenses, or my frames. What are these? These are the Wilkies. Taylor, it did make me smile. Yes, sir. Shauna, so no low systems coming over us next week. Looking good for offshore. Looking pretty good for offshore, yeah. I mean, we've got rain chances rising. That much you know. So let's put it together. Central Florida's certified most accurate 7-day forecast showing a 60% coverage of showers and storms. It's going to be a healthy rain chance, obviously, these next couple of days. But looking ahead to your Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, those rain chances are going to start to level off just a little bit. How's the new supercomputer going to help the GFS? Should theoretically be more powerful, be able to handle more teraflops. Let's see here. We need a storm just to hang out in the Atlantic so we can get some good surf. Look, hurricane season will hurricane season. Taylor, that's why I use dude. He's a dude, she's a dude. Everybody's a dude. It's all good. Every time it rains, I have mushrooms growing in my lawn. Any advice? Oh, that I have no idea. He said you might have to reschedule if he doesn't have to get delayed. Yeah, agreed. How are the attractions this weekend weather-wise? You know, we're going with a 60% coverage of showers and storms. So I would say for both Saturday and Sunday, just have ponchos ready to go. Indoor plans. Tammy, that's funny. Thank you. Got no rain yesterday, so bummed. Becky, today's another day. 60% coverage of showers and storms. That'll do, right? Clear and quiet for my cruise to Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic, July 2nd through the 9th. I mean, the models are not going with anything crazy, Viviana, so I think you're going to be okay. Aaron says there will be hurricanes this year no matter what. Just hope nothing is strong and impacts us. That's 100% true. You can't expect it not to be active in some extent, right? But we'll see just how active it will be. Remember, Colorado State, NOAA calling for a very active season. Meanwhile, your WESH 2 hurricane season forecast actually calling for near average. We had Gary Lezak on a couple of days ago. He independently was talking about the exact same thing. Jeremy Nelson and I worked for so many hours, it's almost pathetic. Yeah. Kenneth, I just talked about that. Could be. Could be. We don't know to that extent. But yeah, Kenneth, we were just talking about that. JC, I really like those frames. Thank you very much. Thank you. Reminds me of the weekend. There you go. Yeah, there you go. Matt, update on your solar panels. Still enjoying? Love them. Absolutely. Set it and forget it. Love them. Absolutely love them. I am curious, though, now that I have an electric car, I'm pretty sure I'm going to owe a little bit to Duke every month. Oh, well. Let's see here. Yeah. Debbie's talking about going to the attractions when it's summer out. Yeah, you suck it up if your friends and family are in from out of town. That is for sure. Yeah. Oh, no worries, Kenneth. You're good. You're good. Bob, I hope you have a great 4th as well. All right. Any questions, comments, concerns, anything? Does anybody? Otherwise, we can wrap this a couple of seconds early. It's funny talking about the 4th of July forecast, and I said this not just for the day, but for the whole weekend. It's like, this is the most summer Central Florida forecast you could have, right? The showers, the thunder showers each day. It's the most summer thing you could do. And he said, asking sunny tomorrow in the morning. Then we've got showers and storms by the afternoon. Yeah. Even if the season is active, like what Colorado State is calling for, if all the storms recycle and fall into the hot spots, definitely I will be impressed. We'll see how it plays out. We'll see how it plays out. Steven, well, hello there. You're in town. Hello. Hope you're doing great. Looks like a staycation will be good this week. There you go, Joanne. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. All right, friends. That's all we've got for today then. We've got nice, quiet conditions in the tropics. I like that. I like that. Yeah. Yeah, you want to know what it's like. Oh, I just got a report of a funnel cloud from like 2 days ago. Okay, I just, when I saw the funnel cloud, I'm like, was there a funnel cloud this morning? No. June 29th. Why are we posting this today? That's random. Okay. Anyway, that's all I got for you. Be the sunshine in someone else's day. Thank you so much for hanging out for Coffee Talk. I will see you guys later. Be safe, enjoy, and of course, we'll be tracking the storms as is needed.